A man named William le Gros, the latest in the line of the Counts of Aumale, was made Earl of York as a reward after distinguishing himself at the Battle of the Standard in 1138 and was the king's administrator of all of Yorkshire at that time. After making a vow to pilgrimage to the Holy Land, he quickly had second thoughts due to the distance and danger involved, and donated a portion of his land to the church in order to have the vow dissolved. This land is where Meaux Abbey would be built. At the time, the land used to be mostly flooded and was functionally useless. However, the monks in the area had originated in northern France and were skilled at draining marshland and redirecting the water to convert it into functional countryside. Thus, they were all too eager to take it off William's hands. Meaux Abbey was built on an island in the marshland, and over the next few decades the land was tamed, drained, and transformed into functional grazing land for sheep, which the monks then sheared, selling the wool to make profits for the church. The ports that the monks sold this wool through were far away and took a percentage of the profits as duty, and after a time the monks grew tired of this and decided to use the rest of the newly drained land by the Humber, named the Wyke, to build their own port. They built it by a small hamlet named Myton that they also owned, and named it Wyke on Hull. This setup was perfect for the monks, and they made excellent profits for a while after, until one day a hunting party led by none other than King Edward I stumbled across the charming riverside hamlet. He was delighted to find the once flooded land converted into a trading port, and found it so advantageously positioned that he purchased the land from the monks immediately after for a sum they were most likely unhappy with given their prosperous setup, but had no choice but to agree to. He had a manor hall built for himself from which he oversaw development of the town into a prospering port, and it was at this time on the 1st of April in 1299 that he bestowed the town with the appellation Kingstown, and thus Kingston upon Hull was born. But what happened to the abbey after this? Although it continued to run for many decades after, in 1539 Meaux Abbey was dissolved. After the congregation was decimated by the Black Plague years earlier, the abbey never truly recovered, and pressure from King Henry VIII during his dissolution of the monasteries resulted in the abbey being abandoned. As happened with many abandoned structures at the time, the stones of the structure were stolen for local building projects, and Meaux Abbey was picked apart completely and utterly. This field and the earthworks underneath are all that remain of the history-rich site today, with the stones making up countless walls, cottages and barns across East Yorkshire, including parts of Hull Castle, Henry VIII's citadel which stood near the Deep. Structures that once stood and in some cases still stand upon land that only exists because of the monks at Meaux Abbey.